this is a message to the nation. Put the guns them down. Cause we want some understand. Put them down. Put him away now. Understand. Yo, Mr. Marshall, Benjai, what you say?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the UNC Fortress of Caroni East. A warm Caroni East welcome to my political leader and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel. My colleagues at the head table, fellow members of Parliament and senators, local government representatives, members of the National Executive, the Caroni East Executive, activists, foot soldiers, and those viewing home and abroad, we are the St. Helena Hindu School, and it is packed to capacity. My friends, it has been a while since we have met like this, and it is a great feeling to be able to see and greet you all. Please allow me to extend greetings to my Hindu brothers and sisters. May you have a holy and auspicious Karwas. To all in the Christian community, may this Lent be a period of solemn prayer and reflection. I would also like to wish my Islamic friends a holy month of Ramadan. May this time be of purity and gratitude towards Allah. And to the spiritual Shouter Baptists, as Liberation Day approaches, I wish you continued triumph and happiness. Brothers and sisters, I have one more greeting to extend, and that is to the Queen of Chutney, 9-year-old Caitlin Sultan, who is a student at the Warrenville TIA Primary School. Caitlin has placed 5th overall in the Chutney Soca Monarch, a stupendous achievement for one of such a young age. On behalf of the constituency of Caroni East, I would like to congratulate her and her parents. Let's give Caitlin a warm round of applause. Caitlin sang a fitting song titled, Tell Them Already. And we here in Caroni East are also ready to take back this country and return Kamala Persad-Bissessar to the office of Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. My friends, the Rowley administration has been guilty of many things. One of them is they locked citizens out of this country during the pandemic, and then they justified their incompetence by awarding the failed health team our country's highest honors. Truth be told, Trinidad and Tobago has the 5th highest death rate per capita from COVID-19.
The vocalist is here.
It's a blast from the past.
Our politics.
The Indian anthem is here. Nazare mastiya tal ke sole sitare ki roshni tal ke sole hare kisham chal chuki ना जाने तुम कब सुहानी ना जाने तुम ना जाने
These are
Our most beloved political leader and the best prime minister this country has ever had. Leader, this is Caitlin and Kaylee. Sultan and Caitlin has placed 5th in the Chutney Soca Monarch. I said that before you reach. So my friends, truth be told, Trinidad and Tobago has the 5th highest death rate per capita from COVID-19 in the Western Hemisphere, and the 23rd highest death rate from COVID-19 in the world. 172 countries saved a higher percentage of their citizens than us. There were many policy errors, our public health response in the pandemic. Many policies were perceived to target a specific portion of the population. In the end, Rowley and Dayal Singh failed to protect the most vulnerable citizens from COVID-19. And this was despite a heroic effort made by our healthcare workers. Karani salutes you all. Now that the pandemic is on the decline, Minister Dayal Singh should stop disrespecting our nurses. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association, Edie Stewart, is on record of saying that nurses are currently working on 2013 salaries. And because of this, many have no choice but to seek employment abroad. We are losing our best nurses to the US and the UK because they are unable to support their families. Billions were spent to build hospitals that our nurses have no passion to work in and preferring to migrate there with their entire families to a foreign country, where the pay is better and the working conditions are more humane than in our public healthcare institutions. Another complaint nurses have made is that Minister Dayal Singh has paid no attention to raising the standard of nursing education. They have heard only talk from those in authority and getting all nursing degrees registered with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. Nurses are unable to specialize in advanced clinical applications in nursing and unable to qualify for higher paying jobs. Currently, nurses' salaries are among the lowest in the public service. Many young nurses are not seeing a financially viable future in our nation's healthcare sector and are seeking greener pastures abroad. Minister Dayal Singh has also been unable to meet the staffing quota of our hospitals across our 4 regional health authorities in Trinidad. Tobago is the only regional health authority that has met its staff figures, and that is because it falls under the authority of the Tobago House of Assembly. This was most apparent during the pandemic, where 1 nurse had to do the job of 2 or 3. Our nation's shortcomings were highlighted in the 2020 State of the World Nursing Report, which analyzes data from 191 countries, including ours. For countries such as Trinidad and Tobago that are unable to retain their nurses, the report advised that we should consider improving salaries and working conditions and creating professional development opportunities and allowing nurses to train to their full scope and education and training. Minister Dialsingh has spent billions during COVID on questionable measures such as step-up and step-down facilities. Do you know that in the United States and in Canada, they never use that policy of step-up and step-down facilities? We also had a threat of $250,000 if you broke quarantine, right? The PNM put that in place. They forced sick people into dilapidated and cockroach-infested buildings to pay massive rents to God only knows who. It was a feeding frenzy, friends and family, while we were all told to shelter in place. My leader, my political leader, when she's Prime Minister, will do a comprehensive audit into the spending during COVID-19, and someone will have to account. Professor Seecheran and his team produced an independent account of the situation that we faced during the COVID-19 surge, and they highlighted the lack of nursing personnel in our nation's hospitals. Our nurses were under extreme pressure because of staff shortages. In addition, nurses had to carry out duties outside of their regular functions. Many complained of overwork almost to the point of exhaustion, and that the workload was severe and took a toll mentally, physically, and psychologically. Privacy and security was also a concern, and many complained of feeling unsafe in their own workplace. Nurses also complained of having to work long hours in PPE, often without a break and unable to go to the bathroom. They also reported that they had to lift patients, obese patients, because there were a lack of attendants. There was one ICU nurse for 6 ventilated patients and 1 ward nurse for up to 30 patients. And these numbers, these ratios, are unheard of in most countries. Minister Dialsingh did not support our nurses during the pandemic. And the disrespect continues because nurses, many nurses, are only given short-term contracts and they are unable to access loans to buy houses and cars and whatnot. These short-term contracts create great uncertainty and depress the morale of the nurses who are exposing themselves to the greatest risk. There are over 3,400 nurses working on temporary employment in our nation's hospitals and health centers. And this is unique to the nursing profession. Those in the Ministry of National Security, the police service, the members of the Defense Force, the Coast Guard, the Fire Service, they are not manned by such a high percentage of persons on contract labor. Why has Minister Dialsingh treated our nurses with such disrespect? They are unable to get gratuity payments as well as a pension. As much as 40% of our nurses work under these conditions. Truly third world country conditions. My leader worked to fix these issues. The Academy of Nursing and Allied Health was built by the partnership government in 2013 under the leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar. It cost $42 million to construct and was the country's first public facility dedicated exclusively to the training of nurses, building human capacity and people-centered development. My friends, after Dialsingh has ignored the Seecheran report for over 1 year, the Ministry of Health is now seeking to recruit an independent consultant to do a new report. Professor Seecheran and his team told the nation of staff shortages and staff burnout. A total of 16 recommendations were made to Minister Dialsingh and his team, including data management systems and electronic medical records. None of that has been done to date. And perhaps this government wants a second opinion to sanitize its failures during the COVID-19 response. And speaking of failures, the contagious hand, foot, and mouth disease is now spreading in the Guayco Presbyterian Primary School as well as the Caranas Primary School. This was confirmed by Minister of Education Dr. Nayan Gapsti Dolly, and President of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Martin Lumking. And the transmission of this virus is very alarming. Reason being, it is taking place days before the SCA examination. Students are at risk of being in quarantine when the examination is taking place. The Ministry of Education must make every effort to join with the Ministry of Health to ensure that there is not a much more serious outbreak in our nation's schools. There must be a vigorous public health education campaign to sensitize students that the disease spreads easily through coughing and sneezing and by touching surfaces. Quarantined students must be given every opportunity to sit the SCA examination. I'm calling on the Minister of Education to state what steps are being taken to support those students in quarantine and scheduled to write the SCA in a week's time. As well as I would like to wish all SCA students good luck in their coming examination. Very quickly, my friends, in the past 7 years, there has been an unending proliferation of serious crime in Carinese, from murders to drive-by assassinations, to home invasions, to carjackings, to extortion, to drug dealings, and so much more. Corpses are being dumped in our watercourses. The Caroni East River and its tributaries are being used to transport drugs, guns, and to facilitate human trafficking. Drug dealing has penetrated our communities. Our businesses are now being forced to pay protection money. They are given an option, silver or lead. Pay with silver or collect lead. All this under the watch of the dynamic duo of Prime Minister Keith Rowley and Minister Hines. I have made extensive representations on your behalf, both inside and outside of Parliament, on gang warfare and serious crime in Carinese. I again make the call for police posts in Kelly Village, and this is needed given the escalation of gang warfare in this area and the easy accessibility of high-powered weapons that are a danger to us all. We need more police patrols, and we call for the return of the community comfort patrols and the assignment of additional vehicles to the police stations in Caroni, Cunupia, and Las Lomas. And where are the CCTV cameras? Why are criminals being allowed to operate without interference in broad daylight? We will never be safe under this Rowley administration. I would like to publicly thank the TTPS for hosting a Central Division Town meeting that was held at the St. David RC Primary School, and we here in Carinese fully support our police service, and we thank them for their service to our country. I wish to remind you all that the quality of our lives was much better under the administration of Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Those times will return, and they are not far away. We are in the final countdown. We owe it to ourselves, our families, our children, and our grandchildren to remove this Rowley administration from office. Long live our great party. Long live our political leader. Long live you all. Thank you very much.